You know, this was their first, and I still think it's their best. Welcome, everybody. My name is Josh with Bish's RV. Some people call me the nerd. My wife calls me a lot of things, actually. More to the point, this was the very first Jay Feather micro floor plan, and I still think it is arguably one of the best because there's certainly other, like GeoPro has a very similar layout, certainly, and the Jayco version is a little bit bigger, it's a little bit heavier, you need a little bit more vehicle potentially to haul it around, but it provides more space and so much more storage. It's just crazy how much storage they packed into a small trailer like this. It is a very feature-packed small package where I think it's almost best as a solo RV, but it could certainly work as a cozy couples camper. Maybe it's just like you and the dog going out and, I don't know, kayaking. I'm not even sure what you do with your dog, but the things that separate this is double Asdel, which not every laminated builder is doing. This also has double the warranty of pretty much anybody else. They also have those really nice Goodyear Wrangler off-road tires that lift the whole thing up off the ground and give you a little bit more clearance. I'm not talking this is an off-road machine, but if you want to get off pavement, it may not be absolutely awful. The underbelly is also enclosed, which is exceptionally uncommon in little trailers like this. Tank heaters are also available. They've re-implemented the ladder off the back, which I prefer. When you get up there, you see a couple things like a 200-watt solar panel. You could add to that if you wanted to. But speaking of that, they also just have a cargo rack on the roof that you could use to attach solar panels or bikes or almost anything you can really imagine, or do none of that, whatever works for you. The windows are all tinted. It's got a 6.5-foot ceiling, but it doesn't have like short sidewalls. It's a normal 6.5-foot sidewall, which is a really key clutch differentiating factor because it means that although my head has to be in the skylight, I can actually stand in this shower. And a lot of these little campers, I can't. They've done some creative things with their entertainment center and a bunch of other stuff, and also some tweaks based on your feedback. So keep that coming as we go today. Even if you've seen this in the past, let me know what you like and what you change given the opportunity, because they are listening and they are slowly adopting your ideas every year, little by little. And you know, I've recorded this floor plan and layouts like it several times in my career, and I always start back there at the door and look in, and I think that makes the most sense, but today I just want to do something different. So if you're in bed, this could kind of be your point of view here. I don't know if this is more useful to you, but hey, this is what we're looking at right now. That is a 12-volt smart TV, which is kind of a nice thing, and if you want to, that TV actually could swing around over toward the bed area a little bit more, which is kind of interesting. Now, as long as we're looking at this, I do want to mention this RV doesn't have the most campsite window coverage you've ever seen. Certainly not. You know, from the sofa, this is basically what you'd see. Actually, let me swing this little swivel stand out of the way and plop a squat over here on the sofa. You've got a full viewing window in the entry door, which is privacy shade prepped. Doesn't have a shade, but it's prepped for one. You've also got a little window there behind the sink, and then around the big blocky, bulky entertainment storage, pantrytainment, hanging closet, everything, plaza-tainment center, you've got a window over there. Now, what's nice is any window that opens for airflow, it does have a partner across from it for cross breezes, and kind of on that note, this RV has 2 power vent fans. Here in the living room, you'll get the bigger vent fan up top there. In the bathroom, you do have the dollar store 4-inch fart fan instead of the Fajita Friday Fume Fighter. But, you know, bigger fan for bigger room, smaller fan for smaller room, and you could always upgrade a fan if you want to. Now, counter space in this is very limited. They actually went with a smaller sink to try to give you a little bit more functional counter space. That was once again based on some consumer feedback there, and it's not a big sink. It's enough to wash your hands in. You could wash some cups. You're not really going to wash a lot of plates and dishes in there, so you might want to bring some paper plates along with you or something like that. Here's an idea, you know, eat out of a lettuce wrap, and then you can just wrap it up and munch it. There you go. They do standardize a 3-burner stovetop with an optional propane oven down below. That'll sacrifice those couple drawers, but hey. Now you look down here and there's a big old blank, looks like wasted chunk of space. That exists outside. When this RV was first originated, it had a refrigerator under that. It had an outdoor mini fridge next to the griddle station. And folks kind of didn't like that. And now it's just outdoor storage, but it's kind of still paneled off on the inside. Now that big old net space right there under the bed, this has also sort of changed and evolved over the years. At one point it was drawers, Then it was the sliding tote ottoman things. I actually really, really like those, and I was sad that those things left. And now it's just open generic storage. The thing is that open pocket, you know, you could put totes and stuff down there, but it could also be a place for like a pet bed or pet dishes, or some people are always looking for a space for a cat litter box. And other people are like, oh God, that's gross. Just everybody camps different, you know? That's why that's one of the reasons why it's really good to know the history of a used RV before you put your money on it, you know? Now, it is a full 13,500 BTU air conditioner, non-centralized, so the bathroom might be a little warmer than the rest of the RV, but here in your main cavity, which is the vast majority of the RV where you're going to spend the majority of your time, it's going to be all right. Now, if you look at this, this is just a simple jackknife sofa. Somebody might say, oh gosh, can I get a theater seat? You literally cannot, because it looks like that sofa goes all the way to the floor. It doesn't. The bottom of the slide is right below the actual sofa cushion. So if you tried to mount a theater seat in that, your head would literally be inside the cabinetry that's overhead in the slide out. And that would be rather uncomfortable. The thing is, this RV has a lot of cabinetry for no bigger than it is, really. I do want to mention, too, this is one of those, this could be a potential deal breaker things, and I want to highlight it as a result. This is an 80-inch bed, so it is like residential length. It's not residential width. It's like only 54 inches wide. The reason being, they were targeting this RV at a 20-foot or less total length. And that's a very important mark that actually saves you a ton of money, especially if you live out west or buy one of these out west, because of how RV shipping works. If this is 20 foot or less, they can ship 3 of them at a time as opposed to 2. And they can spread the shipping cost out across all 3. And it ends up saving you an absolute mint. But as a result, it means we have a narrow bed. So kicking off the deeper details here, a couple big, basically dresser drawers incorporated into what I'm going to call the Plausatainment Center, because it could be a pantry. It's part of the entertainment center. And if you notice, you've got a hanging right above. That's a removable shelf. So if you do need some closet space, you actually do have it. That's essentially just a dead panel up top there, but there is full storage access in there behind it. Now, that's really important because otherwise this RV has literally 0 hanging storage. But I love the fact that the overhead cabinet doors in this camper have the self-holding hinges so that you don't have to do the lifting for them. You might have noticed this RV doesn't have a privacy curtain. For some folks, that's kind of a big deal. This is really made for solos and couples. And if you did pull that curtain, you could potentially cut your airflow off into the bed space. Now, I still think that they should have probably included some kind of privacy curtain. And I feel like maybe in years past they did. You know, I better double check up around that corner to make sure I haven't missed something. Nope, I didn't. Peeked around the corner of the Plausatainment Center. No curtain there. Wouldn't be necessarily difficult to add one. There's not one from the factory. Now, this can fold down into a sleeper. Yes. Is it adult sized? Not for my size adult, not for a 6-foot adult. Is it totally flat and super comfy to lay on? Also, no. It's an absolute big dog or small kid, 1 or 2 night sleepover kind of space. That's all it is. It's not made to be an absolute. It's not a bunkhouse. It's not made to sleep a lot of people. You know, I do like those power outlets right over there, and you might have noticed the pop-up power tower right next to the sofa at the bed headboard, which can actually do some really nice handy work up there. Again, you do have the option of getting a propane oven for this thing if you get that. The top 2 drawers, say adios to those things right there. You're going to lose them. As a result, though, without it, by default, this has a respectable amount of cabinet storage space. The thing is, this RV has just under 1,000 pounds of available cargo capacity. We're going to talk more about that outside. You got to be careful how you load this one depending on how you camp. Now, that shelf is removable, so that can be a wastebasket space. When they moved the sink over, it created that opportunity. I was really glad to see that. I thought that was some really good, really smart, nice content right there. You might notice you also do have a dedicated pantry over there next to that 12-volt fridge. Very easy to access. And again, those shelves could be removed if you have big, tall stuff you want to put in there. That's a larger fridge than these used to have also. That's a 10 cubic foot 12 volt fridge. These used to have an 8 cubic variety. So you've gained a little more cold storage capacity, which is good since they killed the outside fridge. That helps. Your converter is kind of hidden behind a compartment door down there, a cabinet door, as it were. Compartment door kind of feels like something else. I don't know. You get the idea. It's behind a door. Now, the bathroom's tight. It's a small 20-foot compact camper. You might... you could hear that the elbow space was playing We Will Rock You as I was sitting inside this thing. Because Buddy was a poor boy, you know. Anyway, moving on from there. You might notice, too, how it's an open curtain style shower. They didn't go with a full glass enclosed shower here because it would make the toilet space effectively impossible. So if you are wet, that curtain could try to stick to you like a Jacques Cousteau sort of squid or something. And in terms of headroom, take a look on the left side of the screen right there. You can see that, I have to absolutely stand with my head in the bubble. The RV has 6.5 foot sidewalls. I'm a little over 6 foot tall myself, flat footed. Plus the step up into the shower means my head's in the bubble. Just kind of is what it is. And there's really not a lot of linen space in this bathroom. So you're gonna have to pretty much roll your towels up like military burrito style and stuff them in there, and you might need to actually put them up there once you get to your destination, because in transit the weebles might wobble and they may fall down. You just never know. By the way, the bathroom door actually does have a privacy lock. That's a Jayco doing Jayco thing. They're generally very good about that. You might have noticed, I call them the cupception swivel stands right here. They, you can pop them out of the way. You could store them actually behind the sofa if you didn't want them necessarily in the way. One of the really excellent qualities in this RV, though, is accessibility when the slide is closed. And it almost makes me beg the question, is there an opportunity in the RV marketplace for a no-slide version of this? Every time I ask that question, I get a resounding yes, because it would save money, it would make the RV lighter weight, and that actually would help expand the very limited cargo capacity that currently exists on this camper. But what is nice, with the slide closed, you can get to the bed, you can get to the kitchen, you can get to the fridge, you can get to the bathroom. It has some excellent roadside travel stop, stuck in a parking lot at the Cracker Barrel overnight kind of capabilities here. Hopefully you find these extra little road mode sections handy and dandy, as it were. Let me get that door out of the way here. But yeah, doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk, even if I go all the way up here at the bed and lean my way back, you can see that it's still decently spacious in this thing, even with the slide closed. I kind of dig this. Now, there's this phenomenon as it relates to RVs I call the fattening of RVs, where just like my midsection, every year these things seem to pick up a few pounds. Now, Jay Feather Micro has never been the smallest, lightest little camper, but they have continued to pick up a little weight here and there. A lot of it just extra little structural enhancements they've added here and there over the years, but this is a hefty single axle. Now, a solid tow package mid-size pickup should be able to handle it. But one of the things that concerns me is the cargo carrying capacity of this RV has slowly dwindled slightly year over year. The exact RV that I'm looking at, I just checked its weight tag over here. It has 916 pounds of available cargo capacity. For somebody who park camps like me, that's okay. For somebody who wants to put some water in the tanks and do some boondocking, that's potentially a problem. That doesn't leave you a whole lot, because that's like empty propane, no battery. You're going to eat into that, plus cargo. Like, this is a floor plan I could see somebody unintentionally actually overloading. So, there's some very real conversations that need to be had there. And I want to put that stuff on your radar, because, this is a chunk of money, dude. Before you spend that kind of money, you need to know what you're getting. And I call you dude only because I don't know your names individually. So, no offense, dude. The underbelly does have that sewer hose tube. And you might notice you don't see a sewer outlet up here. That's because it's all in the back. It's a single sewer outlet all the way back there. I also like how this one puts the water heater exhaust point for that tankless on-demand water heater over here on the driver's side. I'm like, what in the heck? Oh, my God. I'm sure you heard that ding. Apparently I stepped on a screw head just enough to fling that sucker against the metal sidewall of this building that I'm in right now, and Almost had to go change my underwear. Now let's talk some measurements confusion. This RV has a 7.5 foot wide body, but it has an 8 foot axle. You might notice how there's the fender flares and the wheels stick out a little bit further than the body. So if we're going to use a worst case scenario measurement, it has an 8 foot width. I think that that's a safer measurement to use. Plus that, that also helps take into account awning arms that most manufacturer specs don't. But when the axle's a little bit wider than the RV body, it actually provides a little bit of towing stability, which isn't bad, Now, the roof of this is stick built, but essentially the rest of it is pretty much laminated, aluminum framed, and the walls are all composite, no wood paneling being used. One thing that is nice here is under that front bed, it actually does have a pass-through compartment. Now, it's a smaller door on the other side because remember how you have that open netting cargo pocket in here? So what I did is I took the griddle that's included with it and put the box in there just to give you a size reference on this thing. Now, our front pass-through compartment does have slam latches and magnet holdbacks. All the other compartments, I think this actually only has one other compartment and we're staring at it. It does have magnet holdbacks, but they're not slam latches. That actually used to be an outdoor refrigerator, but your feedback, a lot of folks said, I don't need a 110, not 12 volt powered refrigerator outside. Can I just not get it and get the storage? Normally you couldn't. So they basically had to re-standardize to solve for exactly that. Now you see this little receiver coming off the side here. That's where that griddle actually mounts, if you are so inclined. Now they do put some good sneakers on this kid. They use the Goodyear Wrangler tires, which does keep it higher up off the ground. And, you've got your tire pressure monitoring on this as well. So that's one of the concerns a lot of people have is, what if I, experience a flat or a blowout on a single axle? It's going to get exciting in a not fun way very quickly, just being real. Tandem axles could still get exciting, but it feels like at least I got a little more of a backup to help get this thing limped down off the shoulder and get a tire changed, But that would mean the RV has to be longer, heavier, more expensive to get that tandem axle. Not impossible, but that's the reality of it. Now, you've got the 250-pound rated ladder on the back there, but maybe I'm drunk. Maybe I just haven't seen one in a while. It feels like Jay Feather's using a slightly wider ladder than most. And one of the reasons I kind of like that is I think you could use that as a towel drying rack outdoors. Like if you've been in the lake or something like that and you don't necessarily want to dry your towel off inside, you could dry it outdoors. Now, climbing up top, giving you just another quick peek at the roof line there. You won't really see anything new that you hadn't seen before, but a couple things. You've got that 200-watt solar panel. I don't love its location right in front of the ladder, but I could get around it if I had to. I don't like where it's located. I think it should be slid a little bit further forward myself. But you've also got that cargo rack up there on the roof where if you wanted to add extra solar panels or bikes or pretty much anything you want, you have the opportunity to do that. Oh, real quick. That actually is a Schwintek slide out, but that's probably one of the best instances and executions of how you're supposed to use a Schwintek slide right there, where it's in a very shallow, very lightweight slide. That is what a Schwintek slide was made for. It was not made for a big full wall mega slide in a motorhome or a heavy kitchen slide in a fifth wheel. Boy, they sure got used that way, but that's not at all how it was supposed to be used, The receiver hitch on the back there's no bumper, but the thing is a lot of people, they want to put bike racks and stuff on bumpers and you kind of shouldn't. The receiver hitch allows you to do that without necessarily screwing things up. So some folks like one, some like the other. Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't. I just want to let you know what this thing has and doesn't have so you can decide if it's worth your money or not, So let me know what you think about her, and whether you're curious or whether you're serious about what one of these might run you, double check the link in the video description right at the top there. It will take you right to our website. Any of these that we have in stock, it will show you actual pricing on actual units, not just some vague MSRP that may or may not apply to you. And plus, we don't sell for MSRP. I'd rather give you the information that actually pertains to what the actual price tag would be, and we don't do hidden fees, just add taxes and tags essentially, and if you want to add a hitch, you add a hitch to it, but we don't try to blast you after the fact with like $3,000 of get ready crap or anything like that, which is very common in this industry. It drives me nuts. Short of that, I'll also drop you some links to some similar layouts from some other builders. If you need a little bit smaller and lighter, we have that. If you would prefer tandem axles, I have a couple really good options for you on that one too. And short of that, when you're ready, we're ready. If you appreciate the fair way that we approach this for you, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.